Hey guys, and welcome to a new lesson. So today, for the first time in a while, we're going to be looking at the feet. Specifically, we're going to be looking at a great little exercise for building control and speed in the bass drum. Now this exercise is a bit of a tricky one because we're looking at a lot of different subdivisions and we're going through them bar by bar, but we're going to break it down and just take it slowly, and you'll eventually see that it's not actually too bad. So what we're going to be doing is just playing an ostinato on the hands, but we're going to be changing the phrases that we're playing in the bass drum and the subdivisions that we're playing with that. So the four subdivisions we're going to be looking at today are eighth note triplets, semiquavers or 16th notes, sextuplets, semiquavers, and finally 32nd notes. So the hands are just doing a very simple ostinato, straight ahead eighth note rock groove. And the feet are going to be cycling through these four different subdivisions. And the weird thing is, we're not going to be playing every single note in that subdivision. We're just going to be playing the last two of every beat of that subdivision. Obviously that sounds very confusing, but let me just explain it to you. So eighth note triplets have 3 notes in every beat, so you're going 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, like that. So there's 3 notes in every beat, and so what we're going to be playing is the last 2 notes, so we're going 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So the same thing with semiquavers now, so we've got 4 semiquavers per beat, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, like that. And we're just going to play the last 2 semiquavers, so we're going 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... And the same theme applies for the sextuplets and the 32nd notes. So as you heard in the starting example, it starts out quite slow and it starts to build up really quickly because you're going in from 8th note triplets all the way up to 32nd notes. So it creates a kind of cool effect because you're just playing 2 notes every time, but the distance between those 2 notes gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it becomes almost like a drag, you know? It's really cool. So what I'll do is I'll just go through these individually. So what I'll do is I'll slow down the sextuplets even more and the 32nd notes so you can hear it in context with the groove at 60 BPM. So what I would do is actually get comfortable with these subdivisions by themselves separately before trying to combine them all together, because it can get very confusing if you're trying to change subdivisions every bar and it's just your foot, and it can be very hard to coordinate, so just take it slow. So as you get to the 32nd notes of the sextuplets, it starts to get quite hard to discern which one's which. So just to make sure you're tuning in your ears and your body, just play these 2 things side by side, just like this. Now obviously you don't have to do it every 8th note like I was doing, but just try to go back and forth and try get, you know, the kind of triplet feel and then the straight feel and go back and forth, because that's probably the hardest too. And then after that you start to bring in the semiquavers and then the 8th note triplets. Now, like I said, practice this very slow. Make sure you're going for control rather than speed. Once you get the control, the speed will come. That's simply it. You can't be fast without control. It's just noise at that point. So make sure you're controlling your bass drum, you're controlling the subdivisions, and you're nice and accurate. But yeah, like I said, this is a very hard exercise, and don't be annoyed if you don't get it immediately. This took me quite a long time to get down, and even still I'm a bit sloppy, as you probably heard. If you want me to program a metronome for you, just let me know and I'll do that for you. Okay, so that just about wraps up the video. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and if you do this exercise, it will be highly beneficial, and I promise you that. If you're enjoying the content, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription. You know, there's going to be some great content coming out, and there's some great content that's already been out. There's tons of lessons already, and it's just going to keep going. If you've got any suggestions for videos, let me know and I'll do my best to cover them. But until next time, take care. See you later.